Right now, someone is panicking about money. They're checking their bank account for the 10th time today. Their chest feels tight. They can't sleep. They're thinking about worst-case scenarios that probably won't happen. Money stress is the #1 cause of anxiety in the modern world. According to the American Psychological Association, 63% of adults worldwide report feeling stressed about money. But here's the fascinating part. 2,000 years ago, a Roman emperor named Marcus Aurelius had a solution that actually rewires your brain. Today, we're going to discover how Stoic philosophy can completely transform your relationship with money and eliminate financial anxiety forever. Before we dive in, if you find this content valuable, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss updates from us. Now, let's begin. Money stress is not just in your head. When you worry about finances, something very real happens inside your brain. Research from the University of Michigan shows that financial anxiety activates the amygdala, which is your brain's fear center. This floods your body with cortisol and adrenaline, the stress hormones. Your prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for logical thinking and decision-making, actually shuts down. This is why people make terrible financial decisions when they're stressed. They panic sell their investments. They overspend to feel better temporarily. They avoid looking at their bills, which makes everything worse. The irony is that the very thing you're doing to manage money stress is actually destroying your financial future. The global financial stress statistics are staggering. A study by Ramsey Solutions found that 84% of people worldwide experience some level of financial anxiety.
40% of people report that money stress negatively impacts their mental health. 58% say it affects their relationships. And most importantly, financial stress leads to poor decisions, which creates more stress. It's a vicious cycle. You're trapped in what psychologists call the anxiety spiral. You feel stressed about money, so you make bad decisions, which makes your finances worse, which makes you more stressed. The question is, how do you break this cycle? 2,000 years ago, Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man in Rome, was dealing with financial crises, wars, and massive uncertainty. Yet he wrote in his personal journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This is the foundation of Stoic philosophy, the dichotomy of control. The dichotomy of control states that there are two categories of things in life. First, there are things completely within your control: your effort, your attitude, your response to situations, your spending decisions, your learning, your planning. These are your internal resources. Then there are things outside your control: the economy, stock market crashes, inflation, interest rates, other people's decisions, global events, the weather, the past. Here's what most people do wrong with money. They spend 90% of their mental energy worrying about things outside their control, while spending almost zero energy on things they actually control.
Let's make this practical. You cannot control if there's a recession coming. You cannot control if you lose your job tomorrow. You cannot control if inflation rises. But here's what you can control: how much you save each month, how much you earn through learning new skills, how you spend your money, how you invest for the future, how you educate yourself about finance, and most importantly, how you respond mentally to financial uncertainty. When you shift your mental energy from worrying about what you can't control to taking action on what you can control, something magical happens. Your anxiety drops, your decisions improve, your financial situation actually gets better.
Epictetus, another famous Stoic philosopher, said something that was revolutionary. It is not things themselves that disturb people, but their judgments about those things. This is incredibly powerful when applied to money. The thing that causes your money stress is not actually the money situation itself. It's your judgment about the situation. You might have $10,000 in debt, and one person feels completely hopeless, while another person sees it as a challenge they'll solve in 3 years. The difference is not the debt. The difference is their judgment, their belief, their perspective. This is where modern psychology validates ancient philosophy. A branch of psychology called cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, is built on this exact principle. CBT shows that changing your thoughts literally changes your emotions and your behaviors. Your brain doesn't distinguish between a real threat and an imagined threat. When you imagine a worst-case financial scenario, your amygdala treats it as real and floods your body with stress hormones.
So how do you apply Stoicism to money stress? There are 4 specific practices. First practice, acceptance of what you cannot control. Write down everything about your financial situation that stresses you. Then separate it into 2 columns. Column 1, things within your control. Column 2, things outside your control. For example, you cannot control if the stock market crashes, but you can control your investment strategy and whether you panic sell. You cannot control if you lose your job, but you can control your savings rate and whether you upskill to become more employable. Once you see this separation clearly, something shifts. You stop wasting mental energy on things you can't change. You redirect that energy toward things you can influence. Research from the Stanford Center on Longevity shows that people who practice acceptance of what they can't control experience 30% less anxiety and 45% better sleep quality.
Second practice, negative visualization. This sounds dark, but it's incredibly powerful. Set aside 10 minutes and ask yourself, what's the worst realistic financial scenario that could happen to me? You might lose your job. You might face a medical emergency. You might experience a major financial loss. Now, imagine how you would survive it. What would you actually do? You'd probably get another job. You'd contact creditors to negotiate. You'd reach out to family or friends. You'd adjust your spending. You realize that even in the worst case, you could survive. This isn't pessimism. This is preparedness. Ironically, this practice reduces anxiety because you realize your worst fear is survivable. You also become motivated to build real safeguards, like emergency funds, multiple income streams, and a support network. Studies in behavioral psychology show that people who mentally prepare for challenges feel 70% more confident facing actual challenges. Third practice, virtue over wealth. Marcus Aurelius never tied his self-worth to his money. He understood that true wealth is character, wisdom, discipline, and integrity. In modern terms, this means your self-worth should come from being a good person, learning new skills, treating others well, and living by your values, not from your bank account. This is revolutionary because it removes the shame and identity crisis that people feel around money struggles. You're not a failure if you have debt. You're not weak if you're struggling financially. You're human. What matters is whether you're acting with integrity, whether you're learning, whether you're trying. When you divorce your self-worth from your bank account, money stress drops dramatically because there's no ego involved anymore. You can look at your finances objectively and take action without shame or judgment clouding your decisions. Fourth practice, focus on the present moment. Money stress almost always lives in the future. I might not have enough money next month. I might lose my job next year. What if the economy crashes? But here's the truth. You are not living next month or next year. You're living right now. Right now, in this moment, you probably have enough. Stoics practice something called premeditatio malorum, which means negative visualization of the future.
but only for the purpose of preparation, not for the purpose of suffering in advance. You prepare for future challenges, but you don't live in anxiety about them. You come back to this moment and ask, what do I have right now? What can I do right now? Neuroscience research from MIT shows that people who practice present moment focus experience 55% lower cortisol levels and significantly better decision-making ability.
Now, let's make this actionable. Here are 5 specific things you can do starting today. First, create your control list. Spend 15 minutes writing down everything you can control about your finances: your monthly savings rate, your spending habits, your income, your financial education, your investment strategy, your emergency fund, your negotiation skills. Every single one of these is within your control. Post this list where you see it daily. When money stress hits, you read this list and redirect your focus. Second, build a realistic worst-case plan. Ask yourself, what's the worst realistic financial scenario? Then write down specifically how you would handle it. This removes the fear of the unknown and gives you confidence. Third, practice the present moment check-in. When you feel money stress rising, pause and ask, right now, in this moment, am I safe? Do I have food? Do I have shelter? In most cases, the answer is yes. This grounds you in reality instead of future anxiety. Fourth, separate your worth from your wealth. Every morning, remind yourself that your value as a person has nothing to do with your bank account. It comes from your character, your relationships, and your integrity. Fifth, take one small action. Make one phone call about your debt. Learn one new financial skill. The beautiful part about the Stoic approach to money stress is that it actually works. You're not ignoring your financial problems. You're facing them with clarity. You're not pretending bad things won't happen. You're preparing for them. You're not becoming passive. You're taking control of the things actually within your power. When you separate what you can control from what you cannot control, when you build a realistic plan, and when you stop tying your self-worth to your bank account, something shifts. Money stress doesn't disappear immediately, but it becomes manageable. Your anxiety drops. Your decision-making improves. Your financial situation actually gets better because you're acting from clarity instead of fear. Marcus Aurelius was right. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Your money stress is not coming from your actual financial situation. It's coming from your judgment about your situation and your focus on things you cannot control. By applying Stoic philosophy, you take back that power. Thank you for watching this video. If this content resonated with you, please hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any updates from our side. We release new videos on Stoic philosophy, psychology, and practical life wisdom every week. Subscribe now and join thousands of people who are transforming their lives through ancient philosophy. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.